I pray daily for the Pope's intentions in order to gain any indulgences, as it is one of the conditions. But with there being no Pope currently, how do we continue to pray for the Pope's intentions? Are there no indulgences during this time, or is that condition not required at this time?
Of course, we would encourage all of the listeners to pray for the repose of his soul. Now, regarding the question, those intentions of the Holy Father aren't necessarily like the Pope's monthly intention that we might see printed in the Knights of Columbus magazine or something like that. Really, it's 5 intentions that have been codified throughout the history of the church that really are what are the Holy Father's intentions. And those are as follows. The first one is for the exaltation of Holy Mother Church. The second one is the rooting up of heresies. The third is for the propagation or the spreading of the faith. The fourth is for the conversion of sinners. And the fifth is for peace between Christian rulers. And so those are technically the intentions of the Holy Father, so the historical perennial traditions of the Holy Father that have been codified over time. And so those would be what you're praying for in general when you're trying to gain a plenary indulgence, more specifically during this time as we're sort of awaiting the election of a new pontiff, the previous one having passed away in this case. And other times it would have been if the Pope had stepped down. But in this sort of interregnum, those would be the intentions that you're praying for. So I hope that helps.
Question here from Grace. She says, Father, can you clarify, the Holy Spirit chooses the next Pope in a conclave. How is this squared with free will and some cardinals that may be worldly in their ambitions?
We don't want to sort of fall into the position that the choice of the conclave is somehow infallible and that the one chosen by the conclave is like the best possible choice that could be made. We want to avoid that. But there is a certain way, and I'm not exactly sure how this sort of slices and dices theologically, that the Pope is chosen by God. So we just had the Good Friday liturgy with its prayers where it says in the prayer for the Pope that he was chosen by God. The traditional prayers for the Pope say that he was chosen by God. So in some sense, the Pope is chosen by God, whether that just means that once he's sort of elected by the cardinals, that God confers on him, the authority of Pope. But I don't think we want to say, and we shouldn't say, that somehow the act of the conclave is infallible and that it's chosen the best possible candidate that could possibly be chosen. And it was the one sort of handpicked by God ahead of time. We want to avoid that. Benedict XVI says we need to avoid thinking like that. So people who say that should go back and read what Benedict XVI had to say about that, because he disagreed with that position and argued why it's not true. But we do want to say that in a certain way, God does choose them, even if it just means that he sort of confirms the choice of the cardinals by then bestowing the apostolic or the papal authority on the one who's elected.